Joining me now is former director of the National Counterterrorism Center and MSNBC national security and intelligence analyst, Nick Rasmussen. Thanks for being here.
Great to be here, Chip.
So the fallout over this strike, of course, is raising all kinds of worries here at home. My colleague, Tom Winter, reports this. He says there is concern that Iran could retaliate and that U.S. interests overseas could be targeted, or that proxies could be deployed to strike Americans or their interests abroad. So right now, U.S. law enforcement agencies say they have no specific plans to step up security. We expect to hear more from the NYPD sometime this hour. But what new risks, what new threats could Americans be facing?
Well, first I would say that retaliation, in my mind, is a given. It will happen. It's just a question of when and where. And I would think about retaliation from the Iranians as being something you would think about in terms of concentric circles. The most immediate and obvious options and the most readily available options for the Iranians are, as your previous panel talked about, right inside Iraq. Our forces there, our diplomatic community there. Then you broaden out to the broader Middle East, where we have lots of embassy personnel, we have lots of business people, we have lots of tourists and travelers, Americans who might be in harm's way. But then you also have to remember that Iran operates on a global scale, has a global footprint, and the Quds force led by Qasem Soleimani has built up a network that extends all around the globe. So even in places as far-flung as Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, in Europe, and yes, even the homeland here inside the United States, there is at least some risk of retaliation.
I was talking to one of my national security sources this morning, and this person said, sometimes it's not the person you take out, it's what that person leaves behind. What does Soleimani leave behind?
Well, part of what Soleimani leaves behind is something that I've always thought about in kind of sports terms, a very well-developed playbook. I kind of look in my mind at a playbook that has a bunch of three-ring binders that sit on a shelf with lots of tabs in each of those binders, each of those tabs representing an option, a play that the Iranians could put into play should they need to. When the time comes, they can then go to that playbook, pull it off the shelf, and then mobilize the resources that they've put in place around the globe in order to carry out a play like that, whether it's in a place like Iraq or whether it's in a place like Southeast Asia or Europe or Latin America or, as I said before, even in the homeland.
Yeah. If you were back in your old job, how would you be preparing right now for what could potentially come next?
We would be trying to amp up whatever collection of intelligence we could around the globe to try to better understand where the Iranians might prioritize, where they might be looking to carry out potential retaliatory attacks. Of course, there's lots of intelligence on this subject built up over decades, but what matters right now is trying to get inside the current decision-making calculus of the Iranian regime. Is this something where they are looking to have something happen immediately? Are they prepared to be patient? How do they see the end game going here? What are they thinking about in terms of next steps? That's not something we're particularly well placed to understand, the inside thinking of the Iranian regime. And so I think we're going to be doing more assessing and more analyzing than actually knowing.
Not well placed under normal circumstances, but when you add the Trump administration and the way that they're prepared, their national security apparatus is prepared, are they ready to deal with this?
That's a good question. We've certainly had little flare-ups in national security over the first 3 years of the Trump administration. This event could actually be the first real serious crisis of the Trump administration. And it makes you wonder whether the decision-making apparatus is in place, whether the president's willingness to listen to his intelligence community, to listen to his national security professionals, is that going to be in play as we go through this crisis, or is he going to ad hoc it? Is he going to go with his gut? Is he going to try and improvise on the fly in ways that will put us in greater danger?
Nick Rasmussen, thanks for your perspective this morning.
Thank you, Jeff.